Okay. Though we have completed the chemistry of lipid, there is one very specific basic unit of lipid, which is fatty acid, that we must cover in order to understand overall physical chemical property of fats. Physical chemical properties of fat doesn't come from phytosterol, vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin C, carotenoid, chlorophyll, phospholipid, and all. All the physical chemical property that we are going to learn subsequently all come from this particular structure, fatty acid. Therefore, we must understand fully before we go into detail. You have already a lot of knowledge on fatty acid because you already covered it during your food chemistry. Okay, so I will go very briefly. So, by now all of us know we have saturated and unsaturated fatty acid. Unsaturated referring to the presence of one structure, very specific. Double bond structure. When you have double bond structure, you call it unsaturated hydrocarbon. Okay? And nature prefer even number hydrocarbon. Therefore, you have hydrocarbons of 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. These are all common number of hydrocarbons in fatty acid. But of course, you do have odd number, normally coming out from animal kingdom. We have C17, okay? C17 as well, okay? So, we have two major groups, saturated fatty acid and unsaturated fatty acid. For saturated fatty acid, by default, they are so stable. No oxygen can attack, nothing. They are the best type. Of course, not best for our health. Why? Why saturated fatty acid is not good for our health? Yes? Our body can digest. But why it is not important? Like cholesterol. The functions like cholesterol, our body can produce. Saturated fatty acid, our body can produce. Where do our body produce saturated fatty acid from? During your biochemistry, you learn how to produce fatty acid from carbohydrate. We produce fatty acid from carbohydrate. So, you eat sugar, eat bread, but ended up your body, if they don't use it for energy, they change it to fatty acid. Therefore, always people say, I'm fat because I eat a lot of fat. No, you are fat because you eat a lot of carbohydrate. You must understand that, because carbohydrate in our body, by default, we cannot store carbohydrate. Once you have enough glucose in your body, glycogen, that's it, your body doesn't store anymore. But if you still have carbohydrate, they turn into saturated fatty acid. And saturated fatty acid in turn into adipose tissue underneath your skin. Therefore, when you say that, oh, this person is fat because they eat a lot of fat food, not so true. The truth is they eat a lot of rice, bread, and so on. Overdose of carbohydrate. But if you take a look at chemical reaction, although they are very stable, but when you use high temperature, you can create unwanted materials. High temperature, you can bind all the fatty acid together into polymer. This happens when you do frying, if you have experienced cooking. Okay? At home, when you cook, when you fry product for a long time, you don't change the oil. After that, when you wash the pot, for example, normally underneath the surface, there is one layer of gum, yellowish color. Very difficult to remove. These are all polymer coming from saturated fatty acid that combine together, form very gum-like substance. Very difficult to remove. Our body cannot absorb them. These are toxic materials. So therefore, for oil, we don't repeat frying. After 1 or 2 times, you must throw away the oil. Don't repeat frying. At the same time, they also produce all kinds of toxic. Choline is a ring structure. Okay. Fatty acid, after hydrocarbon, saturated is only hydrocarbon, COOH. When high temperature, the hydrocarbon may form ring. Cyclic, it can be triangle shape, rectangular shape, and so on. These kind of cyclic materials are all toxic materials. But unsaturated fatty acid is the one that of concern to us. If we don't expose the oil to high temperature, these are very stable. We don't have to worry about this. These are our major worry because there are so many reactions occur. In food system, protein, carbohydrate doesn't have this problem. The problem that we have is always with unsaturated fatty acid. They are very reactive to oxidation. Once you have oxidized, you expose even to light, not air, okay, to light, you start to see oil oxidize. It will be very fast. So during the packing of bottle oil, here your oil is in bottle, right? PET bottle. You notice or not? When you open up the bottle, there is a sound, pop sound. Okay. Normally, the head space, they don't want to have air. They either put vacuum so that remove the air so that there will be no reaction occur. Or they may flush with nitrogen, N2. Therefore, why they want to do so? Because cooking oil, a lot of unsaturated fatty acid. With the help of sunlight, with oxygen, oxidation happily occurs. Okay? So the same thing goes to fat-containing food. We will normally flush it with nitrogen. You know the snack food, when you take potato chips, one pack that you buy, open up, few pieces, but the pack is big. Before you open up, it's like a cushion, right? So what type of gas inside, do you know? Nitrogen gas. The main purpose of nitrogen gas, first thing, prevent oxidation. Second thing, can anyone tell me what is the function? Two major functions of nitrogen in snack food package. You learn packaging, right?
Yes.
What is the major functions of nitrogen in packaging? Got nothing to do with oxidation. Your potato chips, if you pack them without nitrogen, you seal. What will happen to these potato chips? When consumer open it, all small pieces crack. Am I right? So what is the functions of this nitrogen? As a food scientist, you must know it's a cushioning effect. Because when you put it in the box, you don't want them to get close to each other and crack. You know? So you want to have cushion. Because this type of snack food are very fragile. You press it, crack. Everything crack. Doesn't look nice. Okay, so these are the major functions. Two things for nitrogen in snake food industry. One, to prevent oxidation. Second, to protect the food. Okay. So once oxidation occurs, you will have all kinds of oxidation products. Alkene, ketone, if you learn organic chemistry, if oxidation occurs, you are going to form aldehyde, ketone, and so on. These things is the one that contribute bad smell to fried product. In chemistry, we call it rancid. The flavor comes from all these substances. It doesn't come from fatty acid. Okay. So why? Because these are shorter chain, more volatile. These are 4 carbon chains, 3 carbon chains, 2 carbon chains, very volatile. You open up the whole room, you can smell. So these are all rancid of flavor. These are the major causes, right? Of course, they also go through oxidative polymers formation and cyclic compound formation, just like this unsaturated fatty acids. So, I already mentioned this. You have single bond and double bond. So let us take a look at the type of fatty acid. Again, to recall your organic chemistry, your food chemistry. And we divide fatty acid into few groups. Short chain, medium chain, long chain. Okay. In scientific world, in food nutrition, 8, 10. 8 and 10 we term it as medium chain. These are shorter chain, short chain, and 12 and above are called long chain fatty acid. 12 is a very unique fatty acid. Argument always there. Food nutritionists, there are two groups. One say this is medium chain, one say no, long chain. Until now, no conclusions, but still, I will prefer it to call long chain fatty acid. Yeah? These are all unique fatty acid present in different composition in plant or animal oil. Okay? 4 and 6, we have 2, but we cannot measure. Why? They are more volatile than air. You extract it, they already disappear. It's too volatile, only 2 carbon. Okay? So therefore, you don't see it naturally present. Okay? The one that we have is butyric acid and caprolic acid. This one all present in milk fat. Okay? Milk fat having a lot of this. So if you ask me, milk flavor, you know milk flavor, right? Milk flavor doesn't come from protein, doesn't come from lactose. These 2. These are milk flavor contributor. If you boil fresh milk at home, the whole house will smell like milk, am I right? The contributor to this is these 2 substances, butyric and caprolic acid. Because they are short chain, they are volatile when you heat it up. So therefore, they go around the whole house. Right? We also have 8, 10, and 12. These are unique oil. We call it medium chain oil, and you only obtain it from coconut oil or palm kernel oil. It's still from palm, but not from the fruits. Palm fruits, if we chop into half, there is 2 parts. One we call mesocarp. Very fibrous, If you cook it, you press it, all the oil come out. And they have very hard shell. Inside is kernel, or you can call nut. So this one and this one have totally different oil. This oil is called palm kernel oil. Palm kernel oil, world production number 5. Number 1, palm oil. Number 2, soya bean. Number 3, rapeseed. Number 4, sunflower. Number 5, olive, coconut bottom, corn oil bottom, cottonseed oil. So this one is wrong. Where you use it, you go to supermarket, you take a look at label, all of this. You're not aware of it only. All products have palm kernel. You want to buy chocolate, but you don't want to pick it a lot, they replace it with palm kernel oil. You want to buy milk product, dairy product, but you don't want to buy premium price, sweetened condensed milk, you know. You put it into your tea. All the milk fat taking out because it's too expensive, they put palm kernel oil inside. Because they have the same profile like milk fat and coconut oil. Okay, same profile. Okay. So these are heavily used to replace cocoa butter, to replace milk fat. And the demand is much higher. It's considered one of the most expensive oil to do. Okay? Because they used to replace more expensive oil, like milk fat is very expensive. Cocoa butter is too expensive. Okay? So it is expensive. So these two types of oil, I just want to also share with you some nutritional knowledge that you must have. 8 and 10 we call medium change. Medium change fatty acids is an important fatty acid. Why? Because in our body, if you consume triacylglycerol with medium change fatty acid attached to it, your body will burn, use it for energy more efficient than glucose. You know glucose is instant energy. If you run marathon, after that you drink glucose water, right? Because you want to have energy. This one much faster than glucose in terms of energy provider. So in medical terms, if someone, for example, a patient, cancer patient, already at the end, terminal ill, dripping, normally you put dripping, right, glucose, and dripping is not possible because they can't even pick up dripping. Doctor is going to administrate medium change in teaspoon, force them to drink medium change triacylglycerol. Why? To maintain the body energy. Because they give glucose even slower, they give them medium change. For them, for body to use the medium change to build energy, have energy. So it's becoming important ingredients for nutrition purposes. Okay, so medium change, you must understand all the other fats are very bad in terms of our body to burn energy. It's very slow. Only medium change is good. Therefore, recently coconut oil, palm kernel oil, the price is increasing, very expensive, because they are the ones that give a lot of C8 and 10. Soya bean oil, palm oil, sunflower oil, rapeseed oil, sesame oil, no, almost zero is good. They do not have medium change. All of them having long change. Long change are not so good. Okay, is it clear? Some nutritional information to you. And of course you have C12, which is lauric. Coconut oil, almost 50% is lauric acid. Lauric acid is not so good also. Although nutritionists always argue, half of them say this is medium, half of them say this is not medium. Okay, but palm kernel oil, coconut oil, almost half is in this quantity, lauric acid. Therefore, coconut oil, palm kernel oil, sometimes we don't call the name, we call lauric oil. If you go into your food science, sometimes they call lauric oil. Okay. Lauric, because they have a lot of this. Palm oil have a lot of what? Palm oil have a lot of which type of fatty acid? From the word palm. Palmitic. 50% palmitic. Okay. Olive oil. The word olive comes from olive. Sorry, this is saturated, so you don't see it. Olive. Okay. Olive is C18-1. Okay. 70% minimum is olive acid. So these are where the name comes from. So we have meristic, we have palmitic. These are considered all long chain. These are all in all kind of vegetable oils, animal oil. We have C16 palmitic, C18 stearic. We also have arachidonic 20, behenic 22. Okay. So these are all, you will take a look at it. 2, 4, even number. Okay, even number. So if you take a look at the melting point of it, alright, you have -8 up to 80 degrees. Melting point is very different. Right? The melting point profile is very different. Increase of double bond and increase of hydrocarbon basically increase the melting temperature. Okay? Therefore, most of the product, if you have all this like palm oil, by default they are semi-solid at room temperature. Okay? So we also have a group of unsaturated fatty acids. Under this we have two: mono unsaturated and polyunsaturated. The most famous mono unsaturated fatty acid is the most famous in the world. Mono means what? One double bond, right? Oiling. This structure. You all know how to?
Yes.
What does 18 mean? 18
18
carbon, one double bond. These are oleic acid. Oleic acid coming from olive, 70–80%. Oily fatty acid, this oleic acid, yeah. So these are called mono. And we also have polyunsaturated. Polyunsaturated means more than one double bond. It can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6 double bonds in nature. Okay. These are all, you have to name it according to IUPAC system. IUPAC system is the one that you learn in organic chemistry. Okay, right? Looking at the active site, count the carbon as number 1, closer to the active site. Am I right? Am I right? So when you have C, so in IUPAC naming system, this is carbon 1. Because why? This is the active site. The same thing if it is this will be 1. Okay? So these are IUPAC naming system. But food system, most of the time they don't prefer to follow IUPAC system. They follow their own system. Therefore, you have omega. Have you heard about omega?
Yes.
Omega 3, omega 6, omega 9. What does it mean?
Have 3 double bond, 6 double double suy sẵn nó có
Where do you count? Where do you count the number from? From the methyl end. You know methyl? The last one is always methyl, right? CH3, right? Right? Methyl end. This one is count number 1. So omega 3 means?
double bond at
Double bond at 1, 2, 3. The first double bond appear at carbon number 3. So this is called omega 3 oil. My next question. Omega 3 oil or fatty acid have how many double bonds?
mấy không biết 10 nó có 18 giây nè. À.
What is the property of double bond? Double bond is very reactive side. In organic chemistry, when I learn organic chemistry, I like alkene group because reaction almost no other reaction. Alkene group, the one with double bond, I have to learn hydrogenation, halogenation. You know, introduce hydrogen, introduce iodine, right? All kind of reaction, right? Because double bond by default is a very active site. Oxygen like to attack all kind of substance like to attack them. They are the weakest link in chemical structure. So I will draw you fatty acid. Okay, not long enough, so it is suddenly not straight line, supposed to be a straight line, okay? Alright, in omega naming system, we name it from here. In food, we prefer to call this way. Sometimes we call it N or omega. Okay, N3 means also from the methyl N, okay? In the market, you see omega 3, omega 9, omega 6, omega 9. Okay. Let's say you have 18 carbon. If saturated, no double bond, you call this structure steric. When you have one double bond, you call it oilic. Am I right? My question, where do you put your double bond?
At the carbon at position 5.
Huh? Double bond, right? You say you have, there's one double bond. You learn in your food chemistry, yes, oleic acid is 18-1. Where is the positions of double bond? Nature prefer harmonize. Therefore, you have even number, you don't have odd number. So when they want to position a very reactive substance, where do they allocate the substance? If they want to protect them nicely. Huh? At the middle, it always occurs at number 9. You know? Because These are very reactive. They don't want to put too close because other will attack them. So they will put it at the center. This double bond is natural. Oil, hexanoid always, they know these are reactive side. They put it here. So in terms of omega naming, you name this one. Omega 9 oleic acid is an omega 9 substance. My next question is oleic acid essential fatty acid? Is monounsaturated fatty acid an essential fatty acid or polyunsaturated and essential fatty acid?
Mono thì nó gì bán thì anh nói oleic
Oleic acid is non-essential. Our body can build this structure in our body. So oleic acid is not a requirement. They are very stable compared to polyunsaturated, but our body can build them. So when you go to the market, when you see they are selling omega 9 oil, they say it's very good for your heart. In actual fact, our body can build it. So omega 9 is not essential fatty acid. Only omega 3 and 6 is good. Okay? My questions will be, why you have omega 3? Means that for omega 3 oil, normally you have more than one double bond. Okay? You will have second one appear here. You may have third one appear here. Okay? They occur here because they want to have more space to put double bond. If not, if only one double bond, they will not stay here. They will always stay here. Okay? When you say omega 3, normally it is essential because they definitely will have more than one double bond. More than one, our body cannot produce. Okay? Clear? So, therefore we call omega 3 or omega 6 if the first double bond appear at carbon number 6, then we call omega 6. Okay? Alright? So now I'll go back to this system. So beside IUPAC we have omega or N minus naming system. These are the same. You can call N3, N6, N9, same like omega. So, closest to the methyl N is the one that you name number 1. I already mentioned this. So, oleic acid is an omega 9 because the double bond, the first one and only one occur at 9. You have linoleic acid.